Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. The Ultra League is now in session along with the Great League Summer Cup, and I was submitted some very cool Ultra League Torkoal battles in the Ultra League. This is a hundo 100% Torkoal in the Ultra League, also a best buddy, so level 51. We shall see what CP it gets to, and Torkoal now with Ember gets amazing energy generation, has the option for different charge attacks, and Conky here, a tremendous battler, is opting for Ember Flame Wheel, which also got buffed, and Earthquake for some coverage. Now you can opt for Overheat, you can also opt for Solar Beam on Torkoal, catch those opponents off guard, and I think that's one of the strengths of Torkoal, as well as its bulk, is the fact that it has the ability to surprise opponents with its separate charge attacks. And here we go. In this game, we still have the Charm Primarina, even though it's a water type, it actually swapped out of the Torkoal. And then we see Moltres counter the Ghost, and gonna actually land a Brave Bird as well. So Conky in a really commanding looking position here. There's the Flame Wheel. Looks like he lost charge attack priority there on the Hydrokin. Actually gonna let it go through. And you see the bulk of Torkoal able to withstand the super effective Hydro Cannon, not even in the red. Still has a shield advantage here for Regidrago, and this is going to be really solid for Regidrago. Up a shield. Now you generate energy quicker with Dragon Breath, so getting to that Dragon energy relatively quickly. And I would assume a Dragon energy would do a significant amount of damage to Dusknoir here. Maybe not quite one-shot it, but as you see, put it in a range where maybe you can shield and Dragon Breath all the way down before the next charge attack. Maybe we see a quick swap into the Primarina at some point, but no. Oh, the Primarina's gone. My bad. Primarina was gone. That is game over. Game number 1 in the books. Next opponent, Leonardo. Here we go. Okay, solid matchup for Torkoal here. Super effective Embers and getting to that Flame Wheel so quickly. 5 Embers to every Flame Wheel. It's 45 energy, so you perfectly get there every single time in 5 Embers. And Corviknight doesn't have a super threatening charge attack. Payback would be the closest thing. And look at this, a Rhyperior swap in. Nice catch by the opponent. A Shadow Rhyperior at that. So not only did they catch, but they snuck in a Mud Slab. But this is a pretty good counter swap with the Moltres. They built up to a potential Rock Wrecker, and they do go for it. So great shield there. But now, if you're Conky, I think you get the full farm down. Nice recognition that he could get the full farm down before the next Rock Wrecker there. In comes a Reveroom. This opponent is mad with the spice. Oh my gosh. Reveroom. Jeez Louise. Steel Poison. You don't see that typing very often. Steel Poison type. And Moltres, I mean, putting in a lot of work with the resisted charge attack, still really chunking this Reveroom. Acid Spray, not going to do much. Wow. This opponent, I wonder if this opponent was having success with this team. This is a crazy team. Dragon Energy should be enough from this range, even against the bulky Corviknight, so it grabs the shield. And unfortunately, Corviknight, just Sand Attack's doing so little, can't even farm down, is forced to fire off the Air Cutter here, and Torkoal is still so healthy. And this team's kind of ABA weak to the Torkoal with ABA Steel. Payback does connect, doing significant damage, and gonna go for the Flame Wheel here. Metal Sound is resisted, so I don't think Torkoal's in range of getting farmed down, and that is a good game. Torkoal putting in some work, doing some damage. I also wanted to point out with both Torkoal and Regidrago, these are 2 Pokemon that were more so known for fast attack pressure before this move update, and for both of them, both Ember and Dragon Breath have gone from more fast attack pressure to now more energy generation, which has made both of these Pokemon, I think, more viable. It just kind of speaks to how energy generation and charge attack pressure tends to make Pokemon more strong in general than fast attack pressure. Not always. Like, there are Pokemon that are really strong because of their fast attack pressure, but in general, I think charge attack pressure is better. And look at that, the Earthquake coming in handy, lands on the Belly Bolt. Belly Bolt felt like you didn't really need to respect anything there, but the Earthquake did a lot. Does lose charge attack priority here on this parabolic charge, but Torkoal gonna barely hang on, getting off this Flame Wheel. And we'll see if Belly Bolt elects to shield or not. They do not, so Torkoal wins the zero shield scenario just barely, and that's going to set up this Moltres against a Confusion Cresselia, and Confusion's going to be better than if it was Psycho Cut. Otherwise, it'd be getting to the Moonblast a little bit quicker. Sucker Punches chunking, and Cresselia probably going to fire off a Moonblast here. Going to shield. It wouldn't one-shot, but it would deal a lot of damage, so going to respect that. In comes in comes Gastrodon. And we may see a pivot into Regidrago at some point here. But for now, no, just going to stay in. I mean, yeah, might as well. Resisting the Mud Slaps. But Regidrago, I think, makes a little more sense to utilize here when it's not as threatened by the charge attacks. Although they are running Earth Power, so because they're running Earth Power, it is going to be a little bit more threatened. But Regidrago takes a Body Slam here. Going to go for the Dragon Energy. And I'd imagine, like, Dragon Energy probably doesn't do that much less damage than Hyper Beam. Because it does get farmed down, unfortunately. But I think you're in a good spot. Maybe you can even farm all the way down here and just Brave Bird the Gastrodon. Yep, pretty easy. Does one Sucker Punch just to do a little extra damage. And Brave Bird easily going to knock out the Gastrodon here. Well played. I'm going to look up the difference in damage between Dragon Energy and Hyper Beam. Because it's probably... I would assume Dragon Energy is way more efficient than the Hyper Beam, even though the Hyper Beam probably does more damage. Let's see. Oh, tough situation here. Safe Swap Moltres met by the hard wall, the Tinkaton. Tinkaton just such a dominant matchup here. Let's see. If I go Ultra League, I go Regidrago against Cresselia. Hyper Beam does 35% and Dragon Energy does 28%. So, dude, the Dragon Energy does 59 damage. The Hyper Beam does 73 damage, but it's 35 more energy. So the Dragon Energy is like way, way more efficient than the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam just gives you a little bit of coverage. Yeah, because all the other attacks are dragon attacks, so I guess you might as well be going for coverage against certain things like fairy types, right? That would resist the dragon damage. So it makes sense. Earthquake coming through. Bang, big damage onto Zygarde here. And Torkoal gonna shield up, respect the Bulldoze, super effective. This is all on Mr. Torkoal now. Going for another Earthquake. Big Earthquake incoming. Doesn't quite knock out. Zygarde just so dang bulky. And going to demand the last Protect Shield here from Torkoal. Switch timer should be up. And unfortunately, it's a Gastrodon. Going to be too much for Mr. Torkoal to handle this time. Torkoal had a big role in the anime, right? I remember Torkoal by Ash's side. You know, with some memorable battles. I feel like Torkoal's one of those Pokemon, like, I always feel like should be a fire rock type, you know, just off how it looks, but pure fire. Pure fire is Mr. Torkoal. Yikes. Moltres swap met by Belly Bolt. Not ideal. Not ideal. They're going to resist all the flying damage here. And it's a Thundershock Belly Bolt, which makes matters even worse. Makes matters even worse. Maybe we get off a Parting Brave Bird. No, we're just going to go for the... Oh, and that might have been Try Attack Priority. So that could be kind of nice. Because we do some chip damage and maybe set up a big Dragon Breath down. And that might be kind of bold. But maybe it's what we got to go for, yeah. Maybe we can do it. I mean, Dragon Breath's got to do at least one damage. Are they going to zap us here? They might zap us. Oh. Okay, we shield the Zap Cannon. Oh, man. Belly Bolt. So annoying. Gets to another Parabolic Charge. Just refusing to go down. Gets the Dragon Breath down. Does Empoleon come in to take this energy? No. Interesting. In comes Tentacruel. And I think this is a mistake by the opponent. I think you'd much rather come in with Empoleon because you resist all the energy here, and then you still have Tentacruel, which is going to resist the Embers anyway, versus Empoleon's not even going to resist the Embers. So I think the opponent making a bit of a poor decision here. They go for a charge attack, and it is the Blizzard. Okay, so they knock out Regidrago. This is all to Torkoal. I think maybe landing the Earthquake is going to be our win condition here. Can we somehow get this Earthquake to connect? Does Conky go for the bait, or does he go straight for it? Oh, man. I think this will come down to whether we land this or not. We're going straight for it. We're going straight for it. Big Earthquake. Oh, no. It gets shielded. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. And I guess the thing is, from the opponent's perspective, you're probably expecting maybe an overheat or maybe even a solar beam. So it makes sense to commit that shield anyway. But close game. There we go. Good lead. Whole team beats Venusaur, basically. So doesn't even need to switch necessarily. And Torkoal, pure fire type. Mono fire. Totally fine here. Aura Sphere is only going to hit for neutral. The problem is Aura Sphere is such a strong attack, it might be able to two-shot us. Oh, no, it doesn't. Torkoal is too bulky. Torkoal is too bulky. So looks like we can take another Aura Sphere here, and our backline avoiding this Togekiss is really nice. I'd even consider shielding in case it's like double fairy, but we're going to let this go. We don't want to go down a shield. And it's Empoleon. A little bit awkward, but we come in with Moltres. Empoleon is pretty safe against this team that we're running, so Empoleon can be awkward for this team, it appears, but Moltres can dish out neutral Sucker Punch damage, and we know that we have our Regidrago lined up against Venusaur and back, so Venusaur is going to have to settle for the less efficient Sludge, but Sludge is still a pretty decent attack, so okay, they swap in Venu. Gonna go for the Dragon Energy here. This will do a lot of damage to Venusaur. Bang. Normally Venusaur gonna run Sludge as opposed to Sludge Bomb, so not quite as threatening here. There's the Sludge. Does a decent amount. Oh, and we actually lose Charge Attack priority, so we're gonna let it go. And we're gonna go for a Sucker Punch down. And I believe we get the Sucker Punch down before they get to another move. Perfect. And then we just go straight Fly. And I think we're in a pretty good spot here where Fly should be enough to just about knock out Empoleon. And they actually top left because they recognize they think it's over. Empoleon's not going to get to 2 charge attacks there. GG. Next opponent is Hunter. Will he be the hunted? Torkoal, tough lead. Safe swap Moltres. Moltres is a little bit of a risky safe swap if there's fairy types, but sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit. Dragon Breath, Giratina. Gonna get to these attacks even faster. Are we going for the Brave Bird here? Are we going for the bold Brave Bird? Bang, we are, and we land it. What a call. Shadow Empoleon comes in. Yeah, I like it. Go for another Brave Bird, and then maybe you can switch out of here. Maybe you can switch out of here. Ooh. Like, if we're gonna come in with Drago here, I would consider just pivoting anyway. We'll see how this plays out. Shadow Empoleon. Gonna dish out more damage. We're taking all the energy. I wonder if we just hard pivot Torkoal at this point, since our damage isn't really that threatening to Emp, but no, we're gonna stay in. Dragon Energy. As we know, it's such a good move. Even resisted still does threaten. Gets the final shield, and now it's Torkoal time. What time is it? Torkoal time. Shield the Hydro Cannon. Oh, no. When is Solar Beam when we need it? We're in some trouble here. We can take one from Gator, but I don't think Earthquake plus Flame Wheel is even going to be enough. Does Flame Wheel give us an attack raise chance? I forget. We're going straight Flame Wheel. Are we trying to like get out or something to catch? Oh, we are swapping. Oh, okay, they throw. I think they could have farmed us down, but they weren't sure. Hydro Cannon comes through. I think we barely tank one here as Torkoal, but This is tough. Empoleon isn't completely dry either, right? So I think we're kind of just cooked here. Yeah, I think we needed to maybe go for Flame Wheel plus Earthquake and hope that was enough. Because Flame Wheel plus Earthquake is going to be less energy anyway than triple Flame Wheel, so. But yeah, tough one there. Not a whole lot of... Nowhere for Torkoal really to go against that team, right? Dragon double water, so not a whole lot of play for the Torkoal in general. Here is Nidoqueen with Mud Slap, however. Yeah, Mud Slap. So tough matchup with Mud Slap. This should just be a Poison Fang, right? That wasn't enough for anything threatening. Takes the Poison Fang. They're staying in, which is good for us. We resist the Mud Slaps. This is a positive matchup for Moltres here. Some nice damage with the Fly. And we get off this next Fly. Well, they have a lot of energy, so they might be inclined to shield this. They do to save the energy. Was this enough for like a Stone Edge? It might have been. It was. So great shield, and we are now in the driver's seat. We had a tough lead. Oh my gosh, they come in Virizion? What? I'm surprised we're going for Brave Bird here, honestly. Like, I feel like they have to shield. It's double super effective. We swap in Regidrago. Oh, baby. And we've gotten both Protect Shields, so this is going to connect. Oh my gosh, look at that damage on the bulky Giratina. And at this point, like, we can just let this go. If they get to double Dragon Claw, so be it. We can take both. Oh, they don't even get there. Oh, we're going to BM with the Hyper Beam. Oh, no. Oh, no, Conky. He's having fun. He's having some fun. Oh, but they're not going to allow it. Virizion saying, don't disrespect me like that, Conky. He's saying, put some respect on my name. And then they remembered. What was the lead Pokemon? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was a Torkoal. Game over. Game over. Torkoal says, nuh-uh, Virizion. Okay, neutral matchup here. Interesting. We're going to hard pivot into our best answer. I don't necessarily love that play, but maybe we feel like with this team we have to swap to lure out potential Fairy-type Pokemon, so I guess that makes sense. We get a shield with the Fly. Not sure what that's about. The only thing I can think of is if they're worried of, like, a payback, but that wasn't enough for payback, so. Okay. We got a shield. I mean, that's about the best thing we can ask for, considering how bad of a matchup that is. But they are so healthy. This is going to be so annoying to get rid of this Belly Bolt. It's going to be so annoying. Oh my gosh, they're going to get off a Zap Cannon. And if they bait us here, that's going to be so diabolical. Okay, luckily they don't bait us. Hard pivot into Credilli, and we just totally stay, in my opinion, because they're Bullet Seed. We resist the Bullet Seeds, and Torkoal would take super effective from the Rock Tomb. We get off both. We get off both. Maybe we actually do consider swapping now, because we can get off a Flame Wheel before... Ooh, we shield. Before their next Rock Tomb. But no, I guess this is the safe play. So now Credilli should be dry. So I don't think they're going to get to a move later on. We clear our debuff. We save a Dragon Energy. If I'm Conky here, I'm definitely building up a little bit extra to make them think I'm going for an overheat. Shadow Ball. Oh my gosh. Shadow Ball is crazy. I don't think we quite built up to overheat energy, but we get the shield. So that's massive. We get the shield anyway. We land Flame Wheel. I don't think this is enough. So now we have to avoid the catch. Oh, wait, one Dragon Breath? Oh, no. Maybe if it's Shadow Punch, we can live, but that's unlucky. Regidrago would have won Chart Attack priority, but if you're in Conky's shoes, that's a really tough, that's basically a 50-50 call in my opinion, because you know they have the catch opportunity, so that's really just a coin flip. If you're wondering why he didn't throw the move, I may very well have not thrown the move myself either. I think that's a tough decision. Tough one there. Okay, Mr. Torkoal against Mr. Belly Bolt. We saw us land the Earthquake earlier. Torkoal. Oh, this time they shield. So maybe not going to be quite as dominant as last time. Are we going to reach this earthquake before going down here? Oh, wasn't sure if he lived the sucker punch or not, so I'm going to have to settle for the flame wheel. And made the right call. We did not live the sucker punch, so I had to settle for the flame wheel. Come in, Reggie Drago. Going to resist all the electric attacks, so fine, no shielding everything here. And hopefully setting up the Moltres in the back. This could be a situation where Hyper Beam maybe would have actually made sense. Because, yeah, Hyper Beam, I guess, is less energy than 2 Dragon Energies. So I guess Hyper Beam there could have made sense, but not a huge difference. Runerigus comes in. We spot Moltres. They might go for a Rock Tomb here to debuff us, so we're going to respect it with a shield. It is the Rock Tomb. They're staying in. I like the Brave Bird here, because I don't think they shield, personally. Unless they really want to get off of another Rock Tomb, maybe. Okay, they do shield. But now our switch timer should be coming up soon, so we can potentially clear our debuff. Shields are down. Yes, we bank a Brave Bird, we switch, and we get off the Dragon Energy, and I think that in itself might be game, because this probably puts it into Brave Bird range. And that Runerigus should be dry, so I don't think you do anything fancy here. I think you just Brave Bird this Tentacruel. Does a couple sucker punches for good measure, and I don't think Runerigus is ever getting to a move here. Maybe it gets to like a Brutal Swing, but it's never getting to a Rock Tomb. And that is going to be a good game. Moltres able to close things out here with some impressive play, showing how good Moltres is. We already knew that, but Torkoal had some nice gameplay as well. So thank you, Conky, for submitting that Torkoal action. I think Torkoal is a bit of a fan favorite, so cool to see it now getting some viability in the Go Battle League. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All your comments are appreciated. And all that said, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.